Welcome everyone to the Paper Outpost. This is Pam and Sunny. Hello everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to show you June 2021's Digikits. These are vintage Digikits, antique Digikits that I've curated, collected for you guys and put into different categories and collections so that you can download them and print them out, and you can find them in my Etsy shop. But let's think a little bit about blending the old and the new, and that is a little bit about what this experience is. So first of all, as we get right to it, is I'm working on another journal, and this one is just in the process of being created. She's a blend of nature and Victorian. There's a lot of butterfly and lace and things like that, old Victorian lace. She's not ready yet. She's still in the cooker. But I did go ahead and add some things from the new Digikits into her, and I wanted to show you what that was like. One thing that I find people, or I personally struggle with a lot, is what do I put on the cover? What do I put on the cover? I want to have a great focal point image, something exciting, something enticing, something that makes somebody open that book. So this is actually from one of my Digikits for June, and this is called Butterflies Among Us. Hang on, let me see if I can get more light. Okay, and just a quick peek here. And I would say this is a bit of they look like specimens. They're drawings, but they're specimen type drawings back from the, these are very old, from probably the 1800s, where people were actually drawing them to try, and they didn't have cameras. So they drew to share their finds. Okay, so let's take a look at the Digikits coming for June. The first one we have is old magazine covers. Yes, old magazine covers. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see them. And they are just gorgeous old magazine covers. Some antique, some vintage, all very beautiful. You can use these for so many different things. I have gone ahead. There are 5 pages, and they're full of gorgeous imagery. And I have used one of the pages in these creations, so I can only show you 4, but you'll see the rest as we go. Okay, so that is old magazine covers. All right. The next one is called Tea Time. Yes, this reflects, but let me zoom in down here, it's better. Victorian tea time. You know, there's so many lovely images of tea all throughout the ages. And tea is a staple. Tea is actually drunk more than coffee throughout the world. So it definitely rings true to many different countries and experiences for people and memories for people. Just many. Some of these are fun and comedic, and others are just beautiful and relaxing. And who doesn't love a good cup of tea? That's what I need right now, is a good cup of tea. Yes, steamy and hot, and you know, just I'm a herbal tea person. I just love herbal teas, and I'm into ginger and chamomile lately. That's my thing. Tea time. So welcome to tea time. Okay, now let's take a look at the next one. And this is Butterflies Among Us. Oh, bringing you down here. So I'll show you them first, and then I'm going to show you some examples of what I made using these in an actual journal, so you can maybe get some ideas on how to use Digikits. And just so you know, the Digikits are stored eternally for you on Etsy. You can download them as many times as you wish. If you like lost where you saved it or something like that, it is always saved for you on Etsy. And just remember the account that you purchased it under. Sometimes people will have multiple accounts. They'll have one name of an account on their phone, a different one on their computer, a different one on their tablet. And but it will be saved under the account you purchased it under. Just a kind of a little FYI, little helperoo there. Okay, so lots of different butterflies, and 1,000,001 things you can do with those. The next one is called, back her up, Water Creatures, and this includes fish, turtles, frogs, and more. Yes. So let me give you a little close-up of these. I just found some very unique, adorable, expressive, dramatic, funny. I mean, what's not to love there, right? Right? Is that so cute? That is so cute. Turtles, so many different kinds, little frogs, Little froggaroos. Is anybody a frog collector? Have a nice collection of turtles here too. I'm hiding, but I'm ferocious when I come out. Yes. We do a lot of turtle rescue around here during the springtime. A lot of turtles try and cross the road, so we are often stopping and picking them up and taking them to the lake. And there are little lakes here everywhere where I live in Florida, so it's very easy to rehome them. We're hoping that they like the lake, and we're hoping it was the chosen lake that they were headed for, of their own choosing, and we try and pick the lake that was in the direction they were headed. So that's always fun. And I figured out a way to pick them up without getting injuring the turtle or injuring myself. But there's a little spot, like if you pick it up, kind of just in front, like this. You're looking down at the shell. Okay, where's the shell? Okay, no, where's the shell? You think I'd have one shot. Okay, so you're looking down at the shell. If you pick it up right about, like one hand goes here, one hand goes here. These feet can't come around and wrap up high here. So if you pick it up right there and you walk it to the lake, you don't even need a towel. But yeah, so that's fun in Florida. That's what we do for giggles. Okay, so these are board games. These are old, ancient, antique, vintage board games. And I just thought they were so cool to see what they played with back then. And I don't think I came up with a Ouija board. I was looking for a good Ouija board one, but didn't find it. But these are all different ones from different countries, different time periods, and they're just very, very interesting when you take a close look at them. Just something to percolate on. These can be used in many different ways as signature pages or as 100 million things, but they're just so very cool. Covers, backgrounds, collage, envelopes, you name it. And here's a classic. Gotta have a chessboard in there, right? Yeah. There we go. So those are the kits of June, and let us. All right, Sunny, they're gonna let us go ahead and look at what we made. You were making a lot of stuff, Mom, this morning. I know I was. You got a little warble in your voice. I was talking a lot yesterday. Okay, got it. All right, that's fine. Okay, so here we go. Oh, let me back up for you so I can see something. And I am working with a lot of ledger papers lately because I'm organizing some more ephemera collections, ephemera bundles known as Fundles, which are actually hard copy, old papers, vintage papers, antique papers, and really cool papers of different types that I thought you might find interesting that I've bundled together, and I will mail those to you directly. And I just put some more in my Etsy shop. They are of limited supply, so if you happen to go over there and you happen to find some, you might want to get one. Okay, so here is the current journal. Yes. And I'm not going to give you a journal tour per se, but this is what we made. And I put these, I think these just look adorable. I took some sari silk, cream colored, vanilla colored sari silk, and I just tied it on some paper clips, and I marked where the things were that I wanted to show you. Yes, I thought that was very creative. Okay, so the first thing here, this is one of the board games that I turned into an envelope, and I just made it, put some lace on it. Get a little closer. And I just sewed it, I opened it, and I lined it with a stenciled page. Let me back up a little. With a stenciled page on the inside. And then I tucked in some very cool old ledger for somebody to play with or to write on. So just so they can get the feel of what it feels like to have old paper in the hands. But you could put new stationery, you could make your own stationery, you could fill this with pictures or stories or letters or whatever you like. But this was a very simple design, very quick to make, very fun, but very, very effective. Yeah, I think so. And I think it's a fun find inside a junk journal. You know, it's explorative. It's there are things to do inside junk journals. That's right. They're not just for reading. Well, you can make them any way you like. Here's another example. And what I did was I made very simple examples that anybody can do, and you can always amp them up from here. But this is a very simple belly band design. And this I just cut these three were lined up, so I just used it as a giant belly band. You could cut these individually if you like, but I went ahead and just tucked in here a pretty little pink stationery envelope. I put the stamp on, and then I just took some stationery paper and put the same stamp on to make it like a little writing set that's matching, and tuck that in there. So there's so many fun things that you can do to encourage people to write and to explore. And I've been reading a lot about old Victorian letters, Victorian handwriting, the etiquette rules, how to fold a letter. I mean, there's just so many fascinating things. We're going to do some exploring of that together. And okay, so here, this is these are from magazine covers, and I kept these free floating. But what I did was I turned them into little postcards, and I just made these little faux postcards with a postcard stamp. Oh, get you closer. And I put a little vintage stamp on there, and I just wrote a little story just for fun, just made up a name and wrote a little letter or a little postcard. And if you, with these printable digitals, if you print them on a cardstock that's thick enough, you can actually use these as postcards. Real postcards in the mail, so you can do that. So that is kind of another fun thing that you can do. You can actually make a set of postcards for somebody that that might be blank, and they can use them to mail to you, maybe. Wouldn't that be cool? Or their friends and family. Okay, and let's see, what else do we have in here? I have a few extra little goodies. Oh, just a very simple L-shaped corner tuck with that gorgeous, beautiful, bug-eyed Goldie fish, yeah. And I put in here, just for fun, I thought this was cute, I just tacked in an old borscht recipe from Russia. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. But I just, apparently I've glued it in place. Okay, that happens. But you know, these fun, these old recipes and that you can find in books, very cool. And fun things to explore in any junk journal. Okay, other simple and fun things that anyone can do. Oh, the old catty corner L-shaped tuck spot. So 2 tuck spots that are glued in L-shaped form that work opposite each other to tack something down. Now this is just a marker, that doesn't have to be there. I just put that there so I would remember where it was in the book. But I just cut out this piece of a vintage map, and I thought that would be very cool. Very easy to cut to size here. And you can put something behind here too. Maybe a little message or a picture or something, or not necessary. Maybe you just want to leave it free and open writing space. That's totally fine too. Just something for inspiration. All right, and we carry on through the giant lookbook. Okay, there we go. And here is an upper tuck, L-shaped corner tuck. This is just a marker again. But in here I had I just love old book pages, as you may know if you've been around a while. But this is a page torn, and I love the shredded torn. This is how it came out of the book. This is an opera in 3 acts, The Bartered Bride, and this is probably the first page. So I thought that was fascinating. I just, sometimes when you think about these books, if you give somebody a book, like maybe a book about old operas or historical book or something like that, the odds of them reading the entire book are pretty low. They might read a few pages here and there, but if you give somebody 1 page, the odds are they might read that whole page, and that might spark a new interest for them, and they may run off and explore other things and maybe get books of their own, and you just never know what will tickle someone's fancy. So that's kind of what I do in my mind when I'm taking a single book page and framing it like this, and then tucking it in to give somebody a little bit of inspiration, something they might want to explore someday, maybe something they would never read on their own. It just didn't come into their world or their sphere. Here is a cute little envelope that I made. I took an envelope and I crinkled it up and I gilded it and I grunged it a little bit. That's the Butterflies Among Us on the front. One of the ones from there. Put a little stamp on the back. And inside, I made these little journaling cards, which are also, if you could see that, they're all gilded and grunged, which I thought was fun to do. But they are from the Tea Time collection. So, I thought that would be a fun thing to use for these very similarly sized cards on the 1 page that you can just cut them up very easily and turn them into instant little journal cards. And one nice way to store your little instant journal cards is to tuck them into an envelope, and then you just clip the envelope to a page, or you tuck it into a pocket, whatever you like. But it's a fun and easy way that anybody can do with. It doesn't have to be Digikits. It can be magazine pictures or book pictures or whatever you like. These I have printed on something called 65-pound vellum paper, which is I would say it's thicker than cardstock, but thinner than regular heavy cardstock. It's not vellum, it's called vellum. I mean, maybe that's the feel of the top, but it feels just like cardstock. So that's, if you're looking for it on eBay or somewhere, it's 65-pound vellum paper. Yeah. Okay, so now you can also very easily use these as flips. And what I did, this also flips. Hinges are very easy to make out of a simple crochet fabric, or any fabric will work. And what I did here was I took, this is a killer whale, of course. So I put the common name, and then I looked up the genus and species just for fun. The genus is always capitalized, Orcanus or Orcinus, and the species is always a small letter, Orca. So that's where we get that one. And this is just a fun way to educate. You know, this is maybe you want to do this for somebody who's really into whales or bees or turtles. Now this, I can't actually read what kind of turtle it is, but I think it looks like a box turtle to me. It's probably not, but this is just for fun, right? And so I put box turtle, and then I looked up the genus and species of box turtle, Terrapene, Carolina. There you go. So just, these can also be educational. They just, just depending on how you want to use it, or just for fun, totally just for fun. Oh, the old magazine covers. I thought I'd make a little mini flip-up magazine, so I made this little one. Hearst's was around back, I believe, at the turn of the century, probably 1800s, 1900s, and I think so. Just lovely covers that they had back then, and let's zoom you in a bit. So I just took some old file folder, and then I took some actual magazine pages from old magazines that I have around, and I took 5 pages and I just sewed them in here, and I thought that would just be a fun flip through so somebody could just get a little bit of a taste of what an old magazine might look like or feel like. The papers are very thin and there's a certain feel to old magazine pages. You'll know it if you feel them. And you may find some in the Fundles, the ephemera bundles. So that was very easy to clip in there. And these are very thin. Look how thin that is. Super thin. Look how thin. Super thin. Very easy to accommodate in a journal. And just wanted to remind folks, if you don't like to overly bulk up your journals, collections like this, like the magazines and the envelopes and that, you could actually bind that with some brown twine. Wouldn't that look cool? And tie it, and then and layer it on top of your journal for a little bit of like a gift to the person, so that they can create and play and tuck these things. Maybe they want to use little torn pieces of these old pages and use them to decorate the pages. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, maybe we could put a little note in there, something like that. These are for you to play with to decorate your journal. Have fun. Bye. And you just leave them all aghast and a wonder, and you walk out the door where like feathers fly as you go. Yes. And on the last page, another very simple design is the U-shaped long pocket. Glue here, here, and here, big U-shaped pocket, and then you can tuck whatever you like in here. And here, I just found this little image so adorable. I knew I had to save it and put it somewhere. A little smoking man with a pipe. It says Lena Skinner, so it's probably maybe her dad or something, you never know. And this was like one of those leaf pages on the inside of the book, the first page or the last page. And little Lena had drawn that, and she had drawn that little picture. So I just had to save that. That was adorable, and I just didn't want to stick it down myself. You could. There's no reason you couldn't. But I wanted it to be free, so whoever got this could enjoy it and decide what they'd like to do with it. Just a side note, the inside covers of this journal, this is not scrapbook paper. This is actual rusted paper that I created, not on purpose. It happened by accident. I thought it was kind of cool. And the way it happened was I have a cookie sheet that is an old cookie sheet because it's been donated to the craft realm in my house. And there were little rust spots on the face of the cookie sheet. But so I put my papers in there, and then I think they were coffee dyed, and then I baked them. And the bottom sheet, when it came out, it took on. It actually, the rust continues. So that's actual real rust on there. Don't think it's coming off on the finger, but I think what I will do is do a light spray coat on it just to seal it, and that way it's not going to come off on anything. But I don't think it's coming off on anything. But just to be sure, I'm just going to lightly spray it. But yeah, that's actually rusted paper. Isn't that cool? It's kind of cool, huh? Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. I probably should have scanned it before I cut it, but you know, this is going to be special and unique to this journal because only one page got the rust like this one, because that was the one closest to the process. So I hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun for me to make. These June 2021 Digikits are now available in my Etsy shop, so if you feel so inclined, hop over and you can purchase those and download those and print them out whenever you like. They'll always be there for you, and as I said, they're always stored for you on Etsy. And if I have tips and tricks on downloading, if you need any, please let me know. I have a nice thing I can send you depending on what device you have, whether it's a phone, a tablet, or a PC, some tricks. And I also recorded a quick and easy little video for anybody who wants to look at it for how to find your download files, because it's sometimes just, a little video is worth 1,000 words. You can see it like, oh, that's where it is. Okay, so there you go. But you're always welcome to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help. And there you go. So you got anything to say, Sunny? No, Mom, I'm sleeping. Thank you very much. All right, there you go. That's it from the Peanut Gallery, me and Sunny. So thank you very, very much for all your beautiful comments and your reviews and all your interaction and just plain hanging out. I'm tickled pink that we're all hanging out together, having fun with our paper passions. We're just a bunch of crazy paper lovers who love to dive into this stuff, have fun, explore, relax, unwind, and get inspired by each other. So if you find value here, please like, subscribe, and share. Click the notification bell if you'd like to get a notification of new videos that I put out. And I put them out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 a.m. Eastern time. And I have a monthly emailed newsletter, which is free, and you get a free digital image emailed to you monthly, along with the checklist of supplies and a note from the bookmaker, junk journal tips, and updates from me at the Paper Outpost. I have a podcast which comes out Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is new audio material related to junk journaling, paper crafting, life of a crafter, answering craft questions, you name it, just the adventures of somebody who's in love with paper. And I have a Facebook group where we're having lots of fun doing weekly and monthly challenges, and I'm loving to see what you guys are making from the videos that you see here and your spin on them or take on them or advances, or you took it over this way and switched it over that way and created something. Feel free to show us. We'd love to see it. And just remember that fun can be simple, and you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Facebook group. And what else? There was one other thing. I think that is it. But yes, right now, so you will be able to find the June Digikits as well as some newly created ephemera collections known as Fundles, which are hard copies and they can be mailed to you. The Digikits are downloadable files, which you download and print them out yourself. There you go. I hope that explains everything. Have an awesome and fun-filled day, and create with reckless abandon, everybody. Bye-bye.